Wordsmith with word galore, little stories and so much more. Affirmations to make you strong, music to study all day long. Tune in now, don't miss the thrill. With Wordsmith Willis, you'll master the skill.
Laila's Stock Market Adventure. Chapter 1. A New Kind of Game. It was a warm, sunny Saturday morning when Laila sped downstairs, the smell of her dad's famous chocolate chip pancakes drawing her to the kitchen. She found her father, a short-statured man with glasses and a big smile, flipping pancakes while humming to himself. Today wasn't just any Saturday. Today was the day her dad had promised to teach her something new, something different. He called it a stock market adventure, and Laila was excited, even though she wasn't entirely sure what it meant. "Good morning, Laila," her dad greeted, sliding a plate of golden pancakes in front of her. "Are you ready for our big lesson today?" Laila, who loved games of all kinds, nodded enthusiastically. "Yes. But Dad, what's the stock market, and how can it be an adventure?" Her dad chuckled, sitting down across from her. "Think of the stock market like a giant game where you buy small pieces of companies. These pieces are called stocks. The better the company does, the more valuable your piece becomes. So, just like in a game, the goal is to make good choices and grow what you have." Laila's eyes widened with curiosity. "So, it's like a game with money, but how do you play?" "Well," her dad said, taking a sip of his coffee, "today, we'll start a special game. I'm giving you $1,000 in imaginary money, and I'll have $1,000 too. We'll use it to invest in imaginary companies, and over time, we'll see how much our investments grow. Whoever has the most money at the end of the game wins." Laila's face lit up with excitement. She loved challenges and learning new things, especially when they were turned into fun games. "Okay, I'm ready. What kind of companies are we going to invest in?" "Let's finish breakfast, and I'll show you," her dad said with a smile, watching Laila eagerly wolf down her pancakes. Chapter 2. Imaginary Companies, Real Lessons. After breakfast, they cleared the table and gathered around a notebook, colorful markers, and a calculator. Her dad had written down the names of 5 imaginary companies on a big sheet of paper, each one more interesting than the last. 1. Sweet Treats, Inc. A bakery that makes the most delicious cookies in the world. 2. Super Shoes, a company that sells sneakers that make you run faster than anyone else. 3. Tech Wizards, a high-tech company that invents gadgets to help with homework. 4. Bright Bubbles, a toy company known for its magical bubbles that never pop. 5. Eco Green Energy, a company focused on creating solar-powered homes and gadgets. Laila looked at the list thoughtfully. She loved cookies and bubbles, but she also liked the idea of helping the environment. "So, I get to choose which companies to invest in?" she asked, excited but nervous. "Exactly," her dad said. "It's just like picking your favorite characters in a game. But here's the trick. You want to pick companies that you think will do well in the future. The more successful they are, the more your money will grow." Laila's mind raced. She knew a lot about games, but she didn't know much about companies or how they worked. Still, she trusted her instincts. "I think I'll invest in Sweet Treats first," she said. "Everyone loves cookies, right?" "Great choice," her dad said, writing down her pick. "How much of your $1,000 do you want to invest?" Laila tapped her chin with the pencil. "Maybe $600? That leaves me with some money to invest in another company." Smart thinking. You don't want to put all your money in one place. Her dad decided to invest in Super Shoes, imagining kids everywhere wanting sneakers that could make them run faster. For his second investment, he picked eco-green energy, thinking about how the world was moving towards more environmentally friendly technology. For her second choice, Laila went with bright bubbles because, after all, who wouldn't want magical bubbles that never pop? With their investments made, the game was officially on. Chapter 3. The Market in Action. Every evening that week, Laila rushed home from school, eager to hear the latest news from her dad about their imaginary companies. Her dad had set up a stock market news board in the living room, and every day, he posted updates about how their investments were doing. On the third day, Laila bounced into the house, dropping her backpack by the door. She found her dad waiting for her, grinning as he stood next to the board. "Big news, Laila," he said. "Sweet Treats, Inc. just released a brand new cookie, Chocolate Chip Marshmallow Explosion. It's a huge hit, and their sales have gone through the roof. Your $600 investment just grew to $900? Layla's eyes widened. Wow, I knew cookies were a good choice. But not every day brought good news. The next week, Laila found her dad looking a bit more serious as he updated the board. "Uh-oh," her dad said. "It looks like Bright Bubbles had a problem with their newest bubble wand. The bubbles started popping, and people aren't buying them as much anymore. Your investment has dropped to $400. Laila frowned, feeling disappointed. "So, I lost money?" "For now, yes," her dad explained. "But remember, the stock market goes up and down. Some days you'll win, some days you won't. The key is to stay patient and make good decisions. You might want to think about whether you want to hold on to Bright Bubbles or invest somewhere else." Laila nodded slowly, taking it all in. She hadn't expected her money to go down, but she was learning that investing wasn't always easy. It was like a game where sometimes you had to take risks and deal with setbacks. Chapter 4. The Art of Patience. As the days turned into weeks, Laila became more comfortable with the ups and downs of the stock market game. She checked the news every day, reading about imaginary cookie shops, sneaker brands, and bubble companies. She learned how to track how well each company was doing, and sometimes she had to make tough decisions. One evening, her dad sat her down for a chat. "Laila, you're doing great with Sweet Treats. Your investment has grown even more. Now it's worth $1,200. But Bright Bubbles is still struggling and your $400 investment hasn't gone up. What do you want to do?" Laila bit her lip, thinking hard. "I think I'll sell my shares in Bright Bubbles and invest the money in Tech Wizards. They just announced a new homework gadget, and everyone at school loves their stuff." Her dad smiled. "Good decision. You're learning how to manage your risks. Sometimes it's better to move your money into something that has a better chance of growing." They made the switch, and from that point on, Laila was hooked. Every day brought new surprises, new lessons, and new opportunities to grow her imaginary wealth. Chapter 5. A Real-Life Field Trip. One Saturday afternoon, a few weeks into their game, Layla's dad decided to take her on a special trip. "I want to show you something," he said, as they drove through the city. They pulled up outside a bakery, with a line of people stretching down the block. The scent of freshly baked cookies filled the air as they walked inside. "Welcome to Sweet Treats," her dad said with a grin. "This is what it's like when a business is successful. People are lining up to buy cookies, and the bakery is making a lot of money. That's why your investment has grown so much." Layla's eyes lit up as she watched the bustling bakery. She could see how businesses worked in real life, and it made the game feel even more exciting. "So, if I had invested in this bakery in real life, my money would grow like it does in the game?" "Exactly," her dad said. "The better the business does, the more valuable your investment becomes. It's all about making smart choices and thinking ahead." Laila left the bakery that day, feeling proud of her decisions. She had picked a successful company, and she could see how her money would grow over time if she kept making good choices. Chapter 6. The Final Round. As the weeks went on, Layla's excitement for the game only grew. She learned to pay attention to news about companies, make smart decisions about where to invest her money, and most importantly, be patient. The time had come for the final round of the game. Layla and her dad sat at the table with their notebooks, ready to see how much their investments had grown. "Let's see how we did," her dad said, flipping through his notes. "Your Sweet Treats investment is now worth $1,500, and Tech Wizards is up to $800. That means your total is $2,300. Great job, Layla." Layla couldn't believe it. She had started with $1,000, and now her imaginary money had more than doubled. "How about you, Dad?" she asked, curious to see if she had won. Her dad chuckled. "Well, I didn't do too bad myself. My Super Shoes investment grew to $1,200, and Eco Green Energy is worth $900. But it looks like you won this time, Layla." Layla beamed with pride. She had won the game, but more importantly, she had learned so much about how money worked, how companies grew, and how to make smart choices. "I think I want to keep playing," she said, already excited for the next round. Her dad smiled and ruffled her hair. "That's the spirit. Remember, investing is a lifelong adventure. It's all about learning, growing, and having fun along the way." And with that, Layla's stock market adventure had only just begun. The end.